Last season, we may have fallen in finals despite having one of the worst drafts. But this season, soldiers, we will rise. We will not falter, and we will take the title. Hello and welcome to the Chucast show that will welcoming you to KCC season number 7. As stated, we had a bit of a rough season last time. We drafted really poorly, couldn't really fix it well enough, and somehow, with luck on our side and some bullshit, we made it to finals where our dreams were snuffed out by Pia. Now this season, I am back with a vengeance. I will be drafting better, I will be playing better, and I will get my second title. For those of you that don't know, KCC is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Draft League. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Draft League, if you'd like to know a lot about it, I uploaded a video about 3 seasons ago that details just about everything you need to know about draft format. Last season we switched to points, and notably it went well, so we're sticking with it. What made us fall apart last season was our draft sucked, and that was mostly due to only having one plan, leading us to fix everything post-draft, which left us with the scraps. So this season we've gone in with about too many plans, and funnily we got second pick, which means we have to pick from one of 9 different draft plans, since we already knew what the first pick was. So having to compare and contrast, like, the Dino plan versus the Trap in the Hat plan versus the Ritual plan was slightly annoying, but I think with some help, we landed on the correct plan for this season. With our first pick, we lock in Unchained, a very strong deck from the TCG that translates kind of well into KCC. We do only have one Sharvara, and the deck requires a very expensive investment to make it as good as it can be. So the draft continues, and as usual, round 1 consists of people picking up high-end staples, with round 2 being much the same, or coaches trying to pick up their very powerful and important decks. So we don't really have to worry about getting sniped, but it sucks that we're not going to get a very powerful staple. So for our second and third pick, we're going to pick up our control deck and a very important staple to make sure it is really, really good. And the 2 picks happen to be DDKC and Labyrinth. Labyrinth is a very good control deck on its own, but it can easily slot in the Unchained cards into the extra deck or main deck to make it better. And DDKC is just a really good normal trap card that's searchable in Labyrinth that outs some really nasty cards. Leading up to our 4th pick, unfortunately one of our most important decks got sniped, meaning another coach took the deck from us and we can't draft it. And unfortunately, with a heavy heart and a heavy hand, we will not be able to play Raid Raptor. With the new support, this deck is legitimately insane, and the deck can ignorantly play through any board breaker and most hand traps, and it sucks to see it go. But don't count it out for ending up on our draft plan at the end. So with our 4th pick, considering our staples aren't very sought after, we're going to pick up another deck. And I know that this deck is going to be on the radar for the next round or 2, so I want to pick it up now, and that deck is Ice Barrier. Another deck that got recent support that makes it a lot better, and it's only 10 points. It's really cheap, very standalone, and has a lot of non-engine space, which is really good for draft format. So we'll pick it up, and I think it's going to be really good. And our 5th pick might look a little weird, but we've got a plan for it. We're going to pick up Plunder Patrol, another 15-point deck to replace Raid Raptor, and I'm not going to say much about it because we have plans for it post-draft. In between Plunder and our next pick, we unfortunately had a couple snipes. Ice Shade was taken, which is a little unfortunate because that would have made Ice Barrier backbreakingly good. And unfortunately, we lose out on Crossout, a very good way of preventing some of our more fragile decks from losing to a single 3-pull hand trap. But there are other replacements for that as well, so we're not too pressed on that. Round 6, I think we're going to finally round out the Fiend part of our draft. And that falls on DDD, a deck I have no idea how to play. But Wave High King Caesar is a very important card for our Unchained deck, and I've been told that DDD is a good deck, though a little fragile, so I was really hoping to get Cross out for something like that. But I think it's a really good deck for something like Best of 5 way down the line in playoffs. Round 7, there's one staple left on the board. I really want to try it out since we banned Evenly going into this season. We're just going to pick up its replacement in Vesper Gearsu. It's a pretty good board breaker, but in testing we realized it's not really as good as we thought. So we're going to pocket it, maybe look at dropping it for something else. And unfortunately, maybe I shouldn't have picked it up and maybe gone with one of my other staples, because 2 of them got sniped this round. Both Called By and Book of Eclipse were really, really good cheap staples that I wanted. It would have been so good, but they got taken. Fuck. We don't have many points left. We're going to replace them with staples and decks that might come up, or we might use them in post-draft race to kind of finish everything. So I'm just going to rapid fire our last 3 picks of Titanicider, Change of Heart, and Dindangle. So with that, draft is over, and we have 24 hours to polish this draft and make it as good as possible. So we're going to work a little bit of magic. We've been eyeing up a deal with Necro to trade Thunder Patrol for Raid Raptor, and I'm easily going to take that because I want Raid Raptor so goddamn bad. And we're going to utilize a couple of our other picks to trade Pia for Ice Jade and pick up a couple other staples. Notably Nightmare Unicorn for our Fiend stuff, and Alpha Master Beast, which is the only 3-point staple left that remotely is usable for us. So with that, I think my draft is perfect. Well, it could be better, but I think this draft is really, really strong. And I honestly see this very easily carrying me to playoffs and maybe even finals. So we're going to have to see. I don't know a lot about these decks, so it's going to be a long couple weeks learning and mastering, I guess, these decks. Our first opponent is full in the Sarah Centurions, and I'm hoping that we can come out with a week 1 dub. Anyways, thank you for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. It really helps that channel. And if you want to see more, you know where to look. Bye-bye.